Right.
Yeah, I'll take my bad point now. So I'm going to preface my bad point with a few good things, so I'm not just like a huge hater on this one, but it's just that like good thing. I think Astralis are calling really well. Another good thing, I think Buzz is actually kind of lighting it up right now. He's
It's a
showing
bad
his value
sign
on
where
this
to make a
team.
bad point, he's listed all these good things for us.
Yeah.
Get ready for the setup. Come on, keep going. So let me see. We've got like Buzz.
Oh yeah. Oh, obviously, Blame F and Device are delivering on in their own respects, and I saw some
great
pop-offs
stats.
here and there from Stare.
Yeah.
The bad is that I think b0RUP is just like really weighing this team down. I think b0RUP is pretty bad, actually. I think like I tweeted out just an image without actually giving it further context because I knew I was going to dive into this on a podcast because b0RUP's numbers at this event, so 0.88 rating. But the thing is, I actually went into his demos too to see like how is he performing this badly. Some like b0RUP has this like really strong knack for if he finds one kill in a round, he will actually almost always just like wide swing immediately. It's like I used to do this when I was playing like competitively like in ESEA main where it's like, oh, I get the one kill, I want to get more kills. And I feel like b0RUP does this too. And it's like, how have you not gotten rid of this bad habit where usually it's all about self-preservation for the next one? But b0RUP, like I looked it up because when I was watching the demos, I was like, okay, he's just throwing his life away after he gets one kill. 12% of rounds he multi-frags, which means he is getting less than 2 multi-frags per half in a game. Like that is astoundingly low. Like and even like compare it to someone like Buzz, who isn't going to pop off the page, he gets 2.5 multi-kills per half, like at least like a 2-kill round, 3-kill round, etc. And Buzz is, I'm just counting multi-kill rounds. I'm not even counting like a 3K's value more, a 4K or a 5K or anything like that. It's just simply having any round where you get 2 or more kills. b0RUP gets less than 2 per half. Like that's what we're talking about here. And like the thing is also people were trying to like come into my mentions about like, oh, like, you know, it's like this is what happens when you have to run out first. It's like of all the 38 people, I looked at this number too, like of all of the 38 people on T side at Cologne that had an above like 20% or above opening kill attempt rate, he had the 6th worst success rate. Like he was like he is not fine, even though he is being sent on some missions sometimes to just try to find an opener. Like he is like damn bad at getting openers. Like he is not winning his duels. Like sometimes I've actually watched where he like gets blinded by a flash and he literally just sprays his gun when he could have easily strafed around the corner. Like I was like, okay, this guy is either like shitting himself because he's so nervous to be playing on Astralis, or he is just simply not cut out to be playing at tier 1. So that's my bad. I think b0RUP is just like, if this Astralis team has hopes to actually be a contender, I think b0RUP either. So on one side, maybe he was just nervous as shit. Maybe he was so nervous to be playing for them at a big event like Cologne. But if that's not it, and this is actually really just how he plays, I just think that they're going to need to replace him.
Okay. What do you think of b0RUP, Cypher? Come on.
I think he's like a kind of momentum-based player. I think he needs to get comfy in this new Astralis. And I think, because his aim is insane, by the way. If you actually watch his mechanics, he's so good mechanically. Like, he could just whip these kills out of his ass. No problem, you know? I can't really say for sure what's the problem with him, but I mean, when you have Blame, Device, Stare, and Buzz all on your same team, you know, it's kind of hard to get stats in the roles he's in as well. I mean, I kind of get the overpeaking part, what you're saying. Yeah, it's a bad habit, but I think he is quite fundamental to how he plays. If you watch him as well, he brings up the vibe of the team as well. You know, he makes jokes with Blames and like all of this stuff. I think he just needs to get comfortable, then he will perform a lot better. Because, like I said, mechanically, he is really, really good. Like, insanely good mechanically. His aim is insane. But yeah. I just think he has to get comfortable more. I think give him some more time.
Right, my problem with the b0RUP one is this, is the saddest thing if you b0RUP is, you wouldn't even be the one getting singled out. Like, obviously, most people are like, why is the Buzz guy still there? A lot of people thought, but obviously he had a couple of pop-off games. I will say, even that's a bit overrated. If you ever go and look, even with the pop-offs, the Buzz guy's stats still just normalised over the whole tournament, guys. He never had something insane. He just had a couple of really good series. But if you watch those series, he was part of the reason they were able to beat some of the other names. So the problem is, like you say, Maui, essentially almost everything else, at least for Cologne, every other marker was pointing up. Like, even Blame F's calling looked way better better than you'd expect on Tisa. But the problem is the one thing almost inarguably, except in the one series against Nip, b0RUP was just a massive liability the whole tournament. Like, not just stats-wise, like on the screen, like you're saying. He's not making like mega impact players. You can be a player who obviously has bad stats, but like crazy impact. I think old school Jax is a classic example of that, where you're still winning rounds, you're still doing things. But that's to tie into what Cypher said. The real problem I think b0RUP has is, essentially, if people don't know, the identity of his career got fucked years ago. Like, a lot of people aren't going to know this. The team that later became Mad Lions, the one that was like those, that era, b0RUP was supposed to be the actual talent in that team, not the Bobskis of the world and these guys, Acorn. These guys later on had their spike. Back then, everyone used to tell me, dude, b0RUP's the one from this team, because as Cypher says, he had like the headshot aim, and everyone was like, nah, he's really talented. And so I heard, it's actually why I wonder if the reason he also joined this team, even though he just left, is because of Hunden, because he was Hunden's boy and he was around with him all those years, and that was even in the heroic lineup together. So I got the vibe personally, that's maybe why they brought him in. Like, that was essentially, is the analogy, Maui. In the same way as I assume that it's Daps who scouted Rainwaker, I assume it was Hunden's angle of like, right, well, if we just need someone to fill these roles, my guy here can do it, basically. But my problem is, I get the vibe, basically, that this isn't even who b0RUP's supposed to be. He was supposed to be like an aimer, he's supposed to be some sort of star player, but he hasn't done that. So he's tried to have a career by flipping into other roles. But this is why when someone can actually transition to other roles, like the classic ones like Valde and MBK and Zipmix, that's why to me they're godlike, because like they're not even supposed to play that role, but then they become amazing at it. I just don't think b0RUP's made the leap so far. It just seems very fucking lackluster to me. And the bigger issue as well that really sucks if you're him is there could have been a world where in general Astralis isn't that relevant now and they're like the 17th best team. If they're getting you into the semis of fucking Cologne and then you shit the bed, it's going to look even worse, isn't it, bro? Like, we can all nitpick who was the worst in a game where you came 12th place. But if you go out on the massive stage, we're all just watching, the whole world's watching you do nothing and just feed the game. So sadly, that one's the most slam dunk one. I don't know yet. Maybe the Buzz guy turns out to be all right. Maybe the financial angle weighs up. I just don't know what the upside to the b0RUP move is, personally. I don't get it myself. It's one of those ones where it's like, that was the weirdest move of them all. Even the Blame F calling one, I can almost see, like, I can't see why they did this move at all.
See more cool, funny, interesting clips based on topics from my content? Well, subscribe to this channel then, or, be a pleb and don't.